What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Ryan?
How's it going?
It is going good. I am so excited. You're going to be at REI Live this month, June 21st. You ready?
I'm ready to go.
Let's go. Let's go. Ryan, in the word on the streets is that you're the king when it comes to Airbnb in Birmingham. You agree?
I don't know about that.
All right.
I don't know.
How many Airbnb properties do you currently have?
So right now I've got 35 listings in the Birmingham area.
Did you beef up for the World Games?
I mean, the World Games to me is great, but it's really about, having that, it's really about being set up to be available all the time. You'd be surprised. There's things that are more profitable, like the Garth Brooks concert. I mean, we're doing really good this weekend because of that. So yes, the World Games is great, but to me, it's not something I was just like, the World Games are coming. Yeah. It's just more like, all right, cool. The World Games are coming. Let's be ready for that. So I didn't really beef up. It's just kind of like, I just take opportunities as they come. And, whether it's the NCAA March Madness coming or whatever, as long as my units are there, that's great. But, people kind of, get all hyped up about the World Games. There's a lot of stuff that's coming to Birmingham that's going to be just as good as far as like hotels hitting their occupancy, because that's when you make a lot of money on Airbnb.
Oh, sweet. How did you get into Airbnb?
So it's kind of it was kind of by accident. I wanted to, it's like about 5 or 6 years ago. At that time, I'd been flipping houses and doing a lot of wholesaling. At that time, I was doing wholesales with Spartan Invest and a couple other hedge funds. And I started buying rental properties. And one of my buddies just randomly was like, hey, have you heard about Airbnb? And I was like, yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't think there's, a big market in Birmingham. And he went on to tell me that he was managing one and that it was just doing amazing. Like the numbers were crazy. And he had like a little condo downtown. And so I wanted to move downtown anyway. I had a townhome in a neighborhood over by Homewood, Hampton Heights. And so we put my unit on Airbnb and I saw how popular it was. I couldn't believe it. I think at that point in time, I remember pulling up the Airbnb search map and there was 7 properties total in the area. So that was kind of in the Wild West days of Airbnb.
Wow.
That's amazing. All right, so when you started doing Airbnbs, did you get any education? You just said, you know what, I'm just gonna do it.
I said, you know what, let's just do it. Sometimes ignorance is bliss, and it worked out. But the funny story is that the association ended up shutting me down. I had no idea about any of that stuff at that point in time. So actually, my first Airbnb experience wasn't a good one, but I remember. I was like, wow, this thing's, Airbnb is a multiplier, right? Like at the point in time, I had rental properties normally. And then I was just like, okay, so I can put furniture in a house and it can bring in 3 times what normal rent would be if I had one property. So in my head, I never really forgot that. So it's kind of like a bittersweet relationship in the beginning, because we had found out that associations are bad. Do not, if people are listening out there, be careful about starting Airbnb if there's an association, because they will not like you and they will probably fine you and make you shut your space down, which is understandable. I mean, things happen. I think what happened with me, let's see what happened. A sweet woman rented my place out from Louisiana. She's from some part in Louisiana. Her daughter was graduating, and they decided to have an after graduation party at my 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square foot townhome. And I remember pulling up my security camera, and there was just droves and droves of people. coming in and out of the house, and I was just like, oh God, I'm going to be in trouble for this. So that was the that's when I got shut down, and that's when I kind of just put it on pause. But I was like, I'm going to get back to this, but let's just move on from this experience. So that's how it all started. Luckily, I had the funds to be able to withstand that. But that's something that people need to understand. Like, if you're in Airbnb and you're winging it, and you don't have some money in the bank or some financial backing in case something bad happens, I mean, it can be a nasty thing.
Definitely.
But I was already, I wanted to move downtown anyway, and so I just left my furniture in the unit, and I bought the space I got downtown wasn't that big, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I sold the townhome, but it's definitely something that will take the wind out of you if you're excited about Airbnb and you spend all the time setting it up, and then you got to shut it down. So
gotta hurt my feelings.
Definitely. You ready to ask something?
I was, but you threw me off. What are you going to be teaching the people of REI Live?
Well, I guess it kind of just depends on the kind of people that show up. I'm going to kind of just ask folks, how many people have Airbnbs, how many people are interested, and kind of get a feel. I mean, I could probably, put on a 2-week seminar about Airbnb. I mean, there's so many different aspects of what to do, what not to do, should you do it? Are you taking a risk that you shouldn't be taking? Are you buying a house in an area that's banned? I mean, now that everybody wants to do it, it's gotten the attention of a lot of local city representatives that are starting to kind of think twice about whether Airbnb should be allowed or not. So there's a lot of different things involved with planning your Airbnb and how you're going to go about doing it, and should you do it. And then it gets to the point of, is your cleaning team have, do you have enough bandwidth to handle your turnovers? How many turnovers can you do? Are you pricing your unit right? Are you picking the right spot for your Airbnb? There's just a lot of different things. Are you designing it right? People don't really want to come into a place where if you want to get that best bang for your buck, you probably want to have somebody put some nice furniture in there, or at least have everything blend, right? So there's just a lot of mistakes that people make in the beginning, that if they would have spent a couple extra, $1,000 or $2,000 more, they could have had a better unit just off the bat and have a better situation with their investment.
I got a question, and I can't wait to
REI Live to do it.
What day are you live?
June 21st.
I can wait till June 21st, but I gotta ask this right now.
Okay.
You gotta explain the cleaning team. How are you handling the cleaning, and is that fee coming from you? Like, cause I rented Airbnb before, and I've seen $50 cleaning fee, $75 cleaning fee, things like that.
Yeah.
Kind of how are you handling it, and how did you find your cleaners?
So I treat my cleaning team very well. They're the blood of the company. I mean, if your cleaning team isn't going to show up and clean, you are in some serious trouble. And that's kind of the backbone of my business. If that's not happening, you are in trouble big time, and you're dealing with angry people if they check in their places and how they want it. The way we handle cleaning fees is whatever I put on there, I pay out to my cleaner. So 2-bedroom, 1 bath, we charge like $65, and for extra bathroom, we go up another $10. So usually anywhere from $65 to $95 a unit. And I don't take any of that. I pay all that out to my cleaner, because they are working hard. And I've actually cleaned my units before in the beginning. I was like, you know what, I need to see what this feels like, and how much of a pain in the ass it is. And I tell you what, and you make 4 king beds and come tell me how that feels when you're done. I mean, it's a lot, taking the sheets off, putting it on, and then you got to go clean the kitchen. I mean, there's a lot going on. So, I mean, cleaning teams are super important. There's a couple different ways you can find cleaners. We could talk about that at the seminar. But yeah, sometimes we'll have 20 checkouts on a Saturday, on a Sunday. So it's crazy. But we've got teams for each different building or wherever my properties are, and It's working. When we scaled, we got when we scaled up and grew too fast, we kind of weren't prepared for all of that, and so it kind of took a while to get back. And now we're kind of have things running at a good pace right now.
That's exciting. That's exciting. I'm also interested to learn about what kind of systems you have in place, because you can't have that many Airbnbs without a system. So make sure you tell us about your systems.
Well, I can't tell you all my secrets, but I will say that. They're just kidding. So believe it or not, I probably only see messages or handling messages when something bad happens. Other than that, everything is handled without me even looking at it. So we have automated messaging. We've got a virtual assistant team that handles all the messages back and forth, questions, things like that. And we've been doing it long enough now. They know, in the beginning I had to kind of like train them, tell them what to say, what to do, but they save all that. And so they do a pretty good job. I recently just hired somebody to kind of be my right-hand man to kind of make executive decisions on things, if you will. And so that has given, that's the second part is, handling all the messages that come in when you scale. I mean, it's one thing to have, 2 or 3, but it's a whole nother thing to have, 30 different humans, 30 different lives, checking in, checking out, asking questions. So.
Well, I'm excited. I can't wait to see you.
Me too. I can't wait to. I have a property. This is a shame. I have a couple of properties that I've been saying I'm gonna do Airbnb, but I'm just scared. I'm
scared. I think a lot of people are scared. I'm not scared, Ryan. So I'm really excited because I'm hoping
ready to go.
I would ask you what scares you about it, because that's kind of, you got to figure out your why. Like I was telling you earlier, like my why has always been, having financial freedom. I've done real estate flips and wholesales, and that's a grind, man. That's a dog-eat-dog world, and you're constantly having to hustle, find deals, negotiate, compete with other investors. We were running around doing auctions and going to auction properties and buying stuff online. I guess it's what are you substituting that you're spending your time on right now, and what are you getting out of it? That's kind of how I decided I wanted to move more into Airbnb, because you can attach systems eventually to create freedom.
I got you. I'm excited. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm ready.
He didn't answer your question, but one of his biggest drawbacks was the cleaning part, finding good cleaners, because when we are doing our turnovers for our rental properties or for post-rehab, we really have a hard time with finding good cleaners, finding affordable cleaners, because a lot of times they want $400 a unit, and I just can't. Well, he couldn't see $400 when it came to Airbnbs per unit, and a lot of them didn't want the $50, $25 that most cities say.
They're out there. They're definitely out there. I mean, there's Facebook groups. There's a website. I'll go. This is something that I've used to find cleaners. It's called Turnover B&B, and basically you post jobs, and there's cleaners that are specifically that understand what Airbnb cleaning is and how to do it, and you can post jobs on there. So that's, I don't know if people know about that, but Turnover B&B, you post your property up there and people will bid on it, and that's how you can kind of find people that will that there's just between cleaning a property after you rehab it and like cleaning a property for humans to happily live in, right? So that, but it's not $400 to get it clean, but it's like anything in life, people that are listening to this that have flipped houses and have dealt with contractors, you usually have to go through 3 or 4 contractors before you find a good one, and then that contractor might not be good anymore after a while. It's just kind of like anything else, right?
Preach.
The life you live.
They say and there are good contractors out there, but they say the first 3 letters in contractor is con. So, you got to watch out for those guys. Not hating on the good contractors out there, but I guess what I'm saying is anything in life you gotta go through some people to find good people, right?
Agree. I agree. I think that may be the issue. I don't want to go through. I don't want the.
We did some unofficial Airbnbs where, like, when family members come and then we'll send somebody to clean it, and the house is like fully fully furnished. But when are you gonna go, Antonio? Like,
well, and also you got to make sure that people want to stay there. You don't want to Airbnb somewhere. I mean, any Airbnb is going to make money, but like, if you're going to put your time into it, it's best to put it in the best areas, right? Like, you don't want to be kind of outside of Birmingham too far. You can, but I would rather be optimal location, optimal size, and have it the best setup, and just have a really good product. And because what happens when the market gets saturated is that if you got a property and you spend all this money on it and it's on the outskirts, you might have a hard time getting booked.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said that, because maybe that'll help him push go a little bit sooner, because the property that he was doing it in is in Glen Iris.
Okay.
Doesn't get any closer to downtown other than Norwood, obviously.
Yeah. Glen Iris is pretty close. So you're in a good spot right there.
Drop the mic again.
Let's light that fire up a little bit. Come on,
I'm ready. I can't wait.
You got UAB in your backyard, bro. Let's go.
I can't wait. We're gonna get it popping.
Well, Brian, I am so excited. I can't wait for you to come Tuesday, June 21st. See you guys at REI Live Birmingham.
Boca Parking Museum. It
starts at 6 p.m. Get there early, you guys. We can't wait. Brian's gonna lay it on us. He's gonna show us how to find the Airbnbs, what areas, how to price them, how to stage them, what kind of systems to put in place so you can really get that Airbnb business popping.
Yeah, bring your questions, because like I said, I've been to these things before, and I don't want to just sit there and be like, well, I already know all this stuff. I've already heard this, or I know this. Like, I don't want to be the guy that just goes on and on about the business and things that you may not be interested in. So it would be much better if they had a lot of questions, and that way I could specifically kind of cater towards what they actually want to hear.
Sounds
Absolutely.
Good.
I love it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
See ya.
Peace.